Here's my Cortina, Mark 1, 1966 model. Bought it from Daylesford down in Melbourne, near Melbourne in Victoria, about a year and a half ago, I think it was. It's being made to be a replica of my dad's racing car of the late 60s, early 70s, except a little bit safer than what he did, because he didn't have a cage and he had fairly standard suspension and brakes. So it was a bit of a nightmare to drive. I'll start from the back. That's where the original fuel tank goes. That's my crazy dog. That's where the original fuel tank went. We've got a very small fuel tank in there, only 17 litres, because I'm only picturing it doing about 5 laps or so before the brakes cook. One of the reasons I'm not too confident about the brakes lasting longer is because to keep it as faithful to the original car as possible, I'm keeping 13-inch wheels, so I'm fairly limited as to what size brakes I can use. And that's fine, we'll work with it from there. The diff I'm using in it is a BorgWarner 78. The original one was a Ford 9-inch narrow. Wheels on the original car were 13 by 7, maybe 8, Dad's not sure. The rears on this one are 13 by 11. So fairly hefty. The cage has got 25 metres of tube in it. Fairly stiff, as you can see. The original car, if it had nothing, it would have flexed around horrendously. I did ask Dad how he managed to drive the thing with it being so flexible. Like, why didn't the windscreen pop out? He said, oh, that was plexiglass, it was pop riveted in. I'm going to sit a little bit further back than him. That's the passenger seat there, the driver's seat's identical. I'm sitting a bit further back than him. He only used the factory Cortina seat with very little lateral support. We're just trying to make things a little bit easier by moving the seat back, because I'm fairly tall, I need a bit more room. Pedals are Tilton 3-pedal assembly. The steering is something we've made up ourselves. You can see there's a large hole in the floor to squeeze it all in. That's round about where the engine sat when Dad had it, the one he built, a Hurst shifter, rebuilt Holley carburetor. This engine's the original engine that he used 40 to 45 years ago when he was racing. I rebuilt it. It's got about 450 horsepower. It's a close ratio top loader as well. The front suspension has been modified. It's a Mark II Escort. I'm a bit nervous about the Mark I Cortina's front suspension and steering. It's all very lightweight and delicate stuff. So my mate Pete and I fabricated all the bits and pieces for it. It's the new cross member, the steering shaft that goes up into here. This will be down here. That's the anti-roll bar mount. It's got 3 bushes on it to keep it all a bit stiffer, because the roll bar does the camber control, caster control as well. I'm not running an alternator on the engine, so it only runs for about 5-10 minutes at a time. Don't need one. I've had plenty of experience with my other racing car like that. I was lucky enough to find a fan belt that just fits on those 2 pulleys very neatly. So very, very lucky. The big tross that you can see here is needed to keep the chassis stiff enough. They're particularly weak, as we've found. The brakes are off some kind of Ford, I'm not quite sure. They're fairly popular. Seen them many, many times, just a 2-piston arrangement. Ventilated disc, which should help things a wee bit. And passenger side. So there's the engine. We're going to put a big aluminium box over the engine, squeeze an air cleaner in there somehow. There's the scatter shield over the top of the flywheel. Dad used to race under the number 13, so that's what I've got for the gear stick knob as well. Normally you have number 8 as a gear stick knob, but no, I thought number 13 would be appropriate. The tyres and wheels don't fit as you'd expect under the guards, so they're going to have to be flared. These have been cut upwards a fair bit, like that, and they're going to get angled flares that stick down. Probably 1 exhaust, maybe 2, we're not really sure yet. Anyway, there it is. Hopefully sometime in a few months it'll be back on the track and burning rubber. Thanks for listening.